Hello, this is Mohammad Javed Hussain. I secured All India rank 280 in Civil Services Examination 2018, and this was my fifth attempt. I appeared in interview twice before, and I even failed in prelims twice. So I'll share a little bit of my journey, how these 4 to 5 years have been in the whole preparation. First and foremost is that when I came to preparation, I had a little background regarding the general studies. So when I started preparation in 2014, it was a fresh start for me. In my first attempt in 2014, I had little knowledge about the general studies, and I could clear the prelims only because of my marks in paper 2, that was CSAT, whose marks were added during that time. So I could clear the prelims. When it came to main, I didn't do any writing practice. I didn't have any background regarding the general studies, so I could fare very poorly during the mains examination, having scored marks like 57 in paper 1, then 78 in paper 2, 68 in paper 3, 97 in paper 4. So that really prevented me from having my name in the final list. So when GS when CSAT paper 2 was made qualifying only in 2015, I could not even clear my prelims examination. I could score only 82 marks. So you could see that when I started my journey, I was having almost zero background of general studies. Finally, it came down to 2016 when I started seriously preparing for the general studies, and I could clear very comfortably in civil services prelims in 2016, having scored around 126 marks. And for the first time in mains 2016, I started serious GS answer writing practice, and that really helped me in my final mains examination, having scored comfortably and having cleared the mains exam very comfortably. But the electrical optional was little bit on the difficult side, so I could score only below average marks in electrical engineering, and that prevented me from getting final selection by around 16 marks. And then I was already working into Indian Railways through engineering services, so I was having the paucity of time at that point of time, and that really proved quite crucial during my 2017 prelims examination, which I failed to clear. Then really at that point of time, the thought dwelled upon me that whether I should prepare for this examination, because having faced interview twice and I could not even clear the prelims in 2017, so that was a very low point of my life, I must say. But luckily I had some of my friends and seniors who motivated me during this point of time. My parents, my brother and sister all supported me during this long endeavor, and they believed that okay, fine, if you believe that you want to give an attempt, then definitely you should give wholeheartedly. It's nothing like you should give it half-heartedly. So I took leave at that point of time in 2017, and I had the whole year of my preparation, because after the prelims result, you are having the almost whole year to appear for the mains next year. So this year I started focusing more on prelims, and you should take it very seriously, because prelims is one stage which really reject the maximum number of serious candidates. So at this point only I'll share what was my prelims strategy that really helped me in clearing the prelims examination this year. Apart from the basic books that almost every aspirants follow, that is the normal books of modern India, like Spectrum, Lakshmikant Polity, then Shankar IAS of environment, basics NCERTs of in geography, economic survey in case of Indian economy. So these were the basics book. Nitin Singhani of art and culture. These were the basics book which I followed for the static preparation. Apart from that, the current affairs of any good institute you could follow, and you could even follow the multiple sources for in case of current affairs. You must follow the multiple sources for environment and science and tech, especially because here the questions could come from any direction. So at least you should follow 2 current affairs magazines for environment and science and tech at least. So that was the whole strategy, static preparation for the prelims. Along with that, I started solving a number of test papers, around 40 to 50 test paper I solved this year. And what I did was, what mistake which I feel, or it could not be a mistake for somebody else, but what I felt is that I attempted a very less number of questions in prelims 2017, around 76. So this year I tried to attempt as many as questions as possible, and for that I started practicing in the test paper itself, that okay, fine, if I solve around 95 plus questions, whether my marks are going in the positive direction or negative direction. So I felt that whenever I am attempting more number of questions, my marks was going upward. So that strategy I followed even in the final examination, and I attempted around 95 96 questions. So that could vary for each and every aspirant, that somebody are comfortable with lesser number of questions, with short questions. Somebody are comfortable with the guesswork and intelligent guesswork, and that would come through the test paper. You should analyze that how your mind works, how you go through the thinking process during the test papers. But here I would suggest that what UPSC has been doing over the past, say for example 2017-18, which I failed, was that they are even asking the application based question, the analytical questions, and even reasoning based questions in GS paper 1. So you should train your mind. You should train your mind to face even the unexpected questions. If you leave some questions even only on the basis that you do not know a fact, or on the face value that you have not read that topic, then that question that might prove counterproductive, because the question could be very simple. You needed to just apply your mind. So that whole practice you should attempt during a test paper. In test paper, I would suggest that you should start try to solve each and every question, like 100 questions. You should see that how you are approaching, how your mind is working, whether you are able to arrive at the right answer, whether you are able to make the intelligent, because the competition, it is very difficult. It is very very tough in the prelims examination, and maximum rejection takes place. So you cannot leave any stone unturned. So that was the whole strategy regarding the prelims. And when it came to mains, what I did this year is that I focused a lot on notes making. And how I did note making was that I picked one of the coaching institutes previous 3 years of test papers, and I started segregating the different topics, and I started making the notes within the different topics. Along with that, the current affairs notes also I started inducting into those topics as well. For example, I'll give you an illustration that if I have to make a notes of for the Indian economy, and what I'll do that I'll divide the whole Indian economy into 5, 6 or 7, 8 broad topics, whatever are there given in the syllabus. Say for example, Indian agriculture, general state of the economy, Indian manufacturing, services, and then global economy, then liberalization, LPG effects. So those topics I segregated, and whenever I would used to come across a relevant topic, either in the test papers or in the current affairs, I used to jot it down and start making notes. That segregated my whole notes, and that really give me a structured answers to whenever a question regarding any of the topic comes. For example, if a question comes on the agriculture, I already had structured my notes into different sectors, like the general state of the Indian agriculture, then horticulture, allied sector, government policies regarding MSP, then the input cost, fertilizers, irrigation, all those stuffs were already structured because I had structured the notes. So that I'll suggest, and I started following this process only after the prelims examination. So even if you have not made notes, any notes, you should not get discouraged, because you have sufficient time even after the prelims. So I compiled some very very good amount of notes during this preparation, and which really helped me in quick revision as well as during the mains examination into writing an answer on any topic. So that you must do, and that I believe that would help you in your preparation. Apart from that, what I changed this year is that rather than appearing for the test papers after preparation, I started solving the test before preparation. Say for example, I have studied polity few days back, and few days back, say for example 30 days back, I used to appear for the test now. okay, fine, to see that how my mind works and how I write a relevant answer even to a question which I vaguely remember. So that improves your recollectivity, as well as it gives you the confidence to appear in to approach even unexpected questions. So that you could see, and that even if you might not be able to get very good marks in your test papers, but I feel that this approach would give you the confidence to approach even the unexpected questions, because UPSC, you never know which sort of questions could come, so you should train your mind accordingly. So that was the whole strategy for my mains general, but last 2017 and 18 UPSC has been picking some static questions as well. So what I'll suggest you, that whenever you are studying for the prelims, you must mark them down in your book itself, those questions or those topics which you feel that could be asked in the mains examination. So if you are preparing right now for the prelims, you could mark down a little bit in your Lakshmikant, for example, for polity, like differences between the Raj Sabha and the Lok Sabha, special privileges of the Rajya Sabha. So these sort of when you are preparing for the prelims, you could mark down in the book, so that when you are preparing for the mains, you could revise only those topics. Apart from that, mainly mains preparation goes through the number of practice you are doing, the number of test papers you are writing, and that's it. Along with that, optional is very, very important, because optional, without optional you cannot clear this examination. So the selection of the optional becomes very critical. You should have a natural interest into it, so that even if you are not able to clear this examination in 1 or 2 attempts, you should not get demotivated simply because of the optional. Every year candidates are selected from the different optionals. So whatever myth are there regarding one optional being favored, or one optional being more scoring over other optionals, I think that are mere misconceptions rather than having any substance to it. My selection of the optional was electrical engineering, because I had very sound technical background. I could clear the CAT examination and engineering services examination, and along with that, my GS was not that very good during the initial phase of preparation. So I believe that electrical engineering was the one optional which I could follow, and I had very good interest into it. And having scored some very less marks in 2014 and 2016, I had this doubt that whether I should switch the optional, but then the love for my electrical engineering was one of the factors which motivated that. Okay, and some of the candidates have also scored very good marks in 2017 in electrical engineering. So that motivated me to continue with this optional. So optional selection, you must deliberate as well as analyze very, very carefully that what optional, and all the optionals are having equal opportunity to clear this examination. Because if you see at the UPSC, when it releases a list that how many candidates are getting selected from the different streams, you could feel that all the optionals are almost on the same platform. So that's for the optional strategy. As far as whenever you reaches the interview stage, you must go through your DAF very carefully, because any question could be picked from your DAF. You could attend a number of mock interviews. Along with that, the current affairs and debates on the different news channel like the Raj Sabha TV, the Lok Sabha, DD News are very beneficial during to formulate your opinion. Along with that, you could form a group of 2 to 3 people with whom you could debate regularly on the current issues, so that will give you the confidence to expect to face the interview board. Along with that, apart from that, one extra thing which I'll one or two thing which I'll share with you is that I never had the luxury, or I could say that I never believed that the coaching really helped me or really helped somebody too much into selection. It might guide you during the initial phase of your preparation for the first 3 to 4 months, but after that you are on your own, because once you are into the group, you know that what all to follow and what not to follow, but you must have some proper guidance. I attended some little bit of coaching from here and there regarding a small modules of geography, economy, then polity, but I never had any coaching, a fulsome coaching for the whole 1 year. So coaching should not be a criteria. It should not deter you from preparing this examination. Whether you are studying in Delhi, whether you are studying in some of the coaching hubs, or whether you are studying in the remote location, with the internet accessibility, I believe that everybody could clear this examination with very good ranks. But yes, guidance for the first 3 to 4 months is very essential, so that you should know, because the in the initial process, and I also face that there is so much uncertainty and there are so many doubts in the mind, that so many sources are there. Every selected candidates refer to some different strategy, but your strategy would be able to evolve over the period of time. Whatever I am saying, that could be applicable to me, but it could not be applicable to you. Say for example, if somebody is preparing since his college days, his strategy could be totally different. I started preparing only after the graduation, and having worked in 1 year somewhere, so my strategy is totally different. I had zero background of the general studies, so the strategy could be different. But yes, you should seek your guidance. You should seek some guidance, and so that you do not waste the precious first 2 years of your preparation, because that is when the most of the candidates are misguided, and that is when the most of the candidates do not know what to prepare and what not to prepare. So along with that, one more thing is that how to prepare along with the job. The nature of job is very important, because if you are having the nature of job like 9 to 5 5 hours of job, then you could manage, and Saturday Sunday leave, then you could manage with the job. But if you are having a very hectic lifestyle, then it becomes a little bit difficult. So that call you needed to take, whether you could manage it with the leave or whatever, that call you needed to take, because managing job as well as preparation was very difficult for me. And so I can understand. So that call you needed to take. If you are able to manage your preparation along with your job, then it is well and good. You could manage, and if you have a little bit of preparation beforehand, and then you could manage a little bit with the work. But if you're a fresher, I think that you should give at least 1 year of dedicated preparation in the inception, so that you could feel confident about the whole process of civil services. So that's it from my side. I wish you all the very best, and one or two mantras which I would like to share with you is: never lose hope. Having failed in one or two different stages of examination does not guarantee that you might not be able to clear the examination in next attempt. In my case, I had faced interview first year, and then failed in prelims second, faced interview third year, and then failed in prelims fourth, and then cleared this examination in 2018. So you should be very honest with your preparation. You must put in the hard and the smart work, and that would really bode result in the end. There are certain I would say subjectivity as far as the whole preparation goes, because the competition is very tough, and you never know that what sort of question could come in the optional. So you should consider those factors, but a failure should not deter you. Along with that, you should have a very sound motivation. You should have a very big motivation why you want to come into this service, because if you are having a very short term, or if you are having a very personal objective regarding civil services, I believe that a failure or two would demotivate you at a very lower level. So you should constantly remind yourself why you want to become a part of this service, and that should be a very broad objective, because that would motivate, like a objective of help of supporting the country, objective of being a part of the helm side, the administration of the country, to change, to be able to change the things which you believe are not correct. So that should be a very big objective which you have in your mind while starting for this preparation, because when you are down, those sort of motivation will pick you up. I was very fortunate that I had the backing and support of my parents, my brothers and sisters, and some of my seniors and friends as well, who constantly motivated me during the whole preparation journey. And I pray that all of you get selected very soon, and hope to see you soon in future. Thank you very much.